Ooh. Welcome to another I Read It, so you don't have to. If you're new here, hi, my name is Noah. Welcome to the channel, and I am
The Bookworm.
This is the last entry to Don't Die July, and this one was a terrible book to end it on because I love my horrors. I love my horrors. The experience I had with this book, that's horror. But the book itself, that it advertises as it's not horror. And we're going to dive into that because I'm going to have a full-on rant. You lucky, lucky people. But apart from that, how you doing? You doing good? You looking after yourselves? You are? Good. I'm glad. That pleases me. That pleases me great. If you are looking after yourself, slap an emoji with a heart underneath or something just to know that you're looking after yourselves. I need to know these things because why? I'm a nosy bitch. That's all there is to it. But first, Eat the Ones You Love, released this year by Sarah Maria Griffin. Now, the premise of this book, I was so fucking excited for it. Because growing up, my dad showed me Little Shop of Horrors. And I love Little Shop of Horrors. Oh, no. Let me read to you the blurb, the back, because it sounds great. It sounds great. Let me tell you how great it sounds. During a visit to a local shopping mall, Shell Pine sees a help needed sign in a flower shop window. She's just left her fiancé, lost her job, and moved home to her parents' house. She has to bring some good into her life, so she takes a chance. And flowers are just the good thing that she's been looking for. As is Neve, the beautiful florist. The thing is, Neve needs help more than Shell could possibly imagine. An orchid. I need you to understand. The whole way through the book, it's described but never mentioned as an orchid, and I didn't know what kind of plant it was. Because originally I thought it'd be like a fly trap, like Little Shop of Horrors, kind of like shown on here. Never mind this thing. But I was like, oh, this, like this. It's going to be like a giant Audrey 2, another version. But no, it's an orchid. That's a shock for me. God damn it. An orchid growing in the heart of the mall is watching them closely. The beautiful florist belongs to him, and he'll do just about anything to make sure he can keep growing big and strong. Little Shop of Horrors.
Feed me, Seymour.
Nothing he eats, nobody he eats, can satisfy him except the thing he most desires. Neve. He'll stop at nothing to eat the ones he loves. And that sounds fantastic. I mean, say like, Little Shop of Horrors, it's horror, it's got LGBT plus going on in it. This is going to be great. As most people know through the reading sprint, I was putting this book down so much. I had Ven come and join me, and I was pretty much like sighing loudly, closing the book, looking at him, getting up and walking off to actually clean, to actually be an adult and do something else. What it says in this is not what happens in this. I need people to understand that. I really need people to understand. The story, it's kind of there. It's kind of what it says in the back. The most tiniest little speck of it is just kind of thrown in there and they're like, that's the blurb. That's not the story. That's not the story. If this book was the first ever book that Sarah Griffin had written, I think I would have been more lenient with it. But this book, I hated it. I had to keep putting it down, and I forced myself to read it instead of DNFing it. Very quickly, I just want to show you some of the 5 stars that is written on there. I'm just going to flap them up there as I as I put them on the screen while I read them. Specifically the bits that I've underlined that I can be like, what? I underlined this first bit, a love letter to all, because it is not a love letter. It's got nothing to do with love, to be honest. Maybe a bit of attraction, but not that. But here it says, Sarah Maria Griffin infuses humour and heart into the horrifying and dread-inducing. There is no humour in this. I did not laugh. I did not find anything funny. Unless, I don't know, the characters or herself or neurodivergent, nothing really landed for me. And that could just be because of me, but I did not find anything humorous about this book. Maybe sure she's put heart into it, because I think anyone who ever writes puts their heart into it, so I can't, like, go against that. But, It also says, complex relationships that both serve the plot and feel like a realistic representation, oh my god, of the friends you make at work. No, it's not. It's really not. There's nothing complex about it. There's no complex relationship. Sure, there's maybe like there's an ex there or something like that, but it's nothing's complex about it. It's like this is the character that's been put in there. This is what they are to the other character, and that's it. That's really it. There's no connection. Well, the connection's there, but it's not there to like really lock it in, and it drives me nuts. This one I actually really did annoy me a little bit. Obviously, it says Little Shop of Horrors for the postmodern age. I wish it was. It just because the flower, the plant is like sentient, doesn't make it Little Shop of Horrors. It didn't have the same feel or the same vibe for me as Little Shop of Horrors gives me, because that's a movie that I always go and watch. It's one of my favourite movies. I watch it like constantly throughout the year. Like, there's nothing there. It's just because it made a comment about growing big and strong in the back, because obviously it's from one of the main songs that people know, and it's a plant. It doesn't mean it is Little Shop of Horrors. I'm actually really disappointed that it has nothing. It's nothing like it. There's also the fact that it says, eat the ones you love will help you relieve any retail-related trauma you may have gathered through your lifetime. There is nothing in here that even gives retail-related trauma. As someone who's worked in retail pretty much most of their life, apart from when I was a veterinary care assistant, this is nothing in there that I think, oh damn, I could write a better book about retail trauma, and I will happily do a video about my retail trauma, because I have dealt with some fucking idiots. This person, I don't know, sometimes I think the people who've rated these haven't read it completely. I think they're just lying, because what they say is not what's in here. Hey, it's me, from the future, but not really as I'm editing. Just want to say, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and leave an emoji down in the comments so I know you've gotten this far. Much love! Continue with the editing! So the story is supposed to revolve around Shell, the main person, and what we know about Shell is that, yes, she was engaged to a guy. They kind of just fell out of love. You know, people fall out of love, and it happens. You know, it's not gonna, like, destroy you or anything like that. It doesn't mean that you are in need of help. And yes, people can lose their jobs. It's part of life, unfortunately. Everyone has lost a job at some point in their life, and it sucks. But your life does not revolve around it. And just because your friends don't drop everything in their lives to basically be, like, move towards you to be with you, like, it's kind of a shitty thing to even want and crave for, to be honest, as a person. So I really hated Shell at this moment when it kind of talks about this a little bit. But yes, it revolves around Shell. She's lost a fiance, she's lost a job, she's moved back into her parents' home, and she's kind of gone shopping, and she walks up to this flower shop, and she's like, oh, there's a help needed sign. Not a help wanted, help needed. And this is something I really hated about Shell within the first few pages, is because her response is, basically, it says needed instead of wanted, right? How dare they basically say they need help when I'm the one who needs help? She basically instantly pulls the victim, woe is her, no one needs as much help as her, and I hated her instantly. Like, everyone needs help, yeah, some people may need it more than others, or maybe not, but doesn't matter what, you do not play the victim, you do not put yourself over someone else. If someone needs help, they need help. It's not a pissing competition. I hated Shell from this moment in time. I hated it. And basically, she goes into the shop, she talks to Neve. We don't know much about Neve, it doesn't really describe her very well. We don't even really know what Shell properly looks like. Well, most characters, we do not know what they look like. None of them are really fully described. So I just have to make up a picture in my head of them specifically. But she starts talking to Neve, and Neve's like, oh, like, obviously she's buying flowers as she's asking about the job. And Neve's like, oh, like, asking, like, if she has any experience, stuff like that, and then if she likes flowers. And stupidly, Shell is like, yeah, I love these flowers, when she's buying. And Neve's like, no, I'm asking because you're asking about a job, if you, like, to work with flowers. I need to know if you like them or not. And nothing really happens, like, Shell's stupid, Neve's trying to be really nice about it. At the same time, Shell is looking at Neve. I love Neve's name, by the way. Shell is looking at her like, oh, she has a wedding ring on. She is beautiful. All I know about Neve is she's got short hair, that her lips and eyes are generous. So I'm assuming she's got big eyes and big lips, and that's basically, I don't know really anything else. I don't really know, like, what she wears. We don't know her personality, her likes, her dislikes. Yes, she is obsessed with flowers. It is very much put there instantly that Neve is obsessed with flowers. But there's always more to a person. We have other characters that she kind of introduces, and as she works in this flower shop, and it's boring because nothing really happens, and she just kind of fawns over Neve instantly while she's like, I don't have a fiance anymore. I have to live with my parents. I will never date a man again. But Neve is so attractive, and I notice she has a wedding ring on. But then, while she's also telling Neve she'll never date a man again, while Neve somewhat flirts with her, kind of a bit flirty, Neve kind of does like her back a little bit. She hints at it. There's another person that works in this mall that's closing down, which is very focused on more about the mall closing down than the people around it or inside. She then goes dates a guy, basically. The characters, we don't know much about them. We know one of the characters, obviously we've got Shell, the victim player. We have Neve, the person who actually needs help, who works in the mall that is closing down, and the store is going to close down while she's obsessed with her plants in various ways. We have a young kid that works there. Oh, sorry, just before I say, Shell and Neve are basically the same age, around their late 20s to early 30s. There's a young guy who works there who's like very early 20s, maybe like 21, 22, who Shell kind of hits it off with while saying, I don't date guys, but also fawning over Neve. There's another woman there called Bex or Bev or something like that, who works as someone who sets up holidays for people. I like her. I think she's the only character that I like, and that's it, just because she's very standoffish and she's the only one that really shows personality. The flow of the book, there was no flow, there was no time to it, it was boring, nothing was pushed, it was just basically them sitting in a mall when it was closed, drinking and talking, flower shit going on, and random change of point of view. So we'll be reading a book, we'll be reading the book, we'll be reading, like, let's say a page, and this happens throughout the book, which really annoys me, is that it'll be like, Shell was blah 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 blah, 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 telling us about the things she was doing at that moment in time. And then randomly out of nowhere, it changes to I. Most of the book is in third person to Shell before it jarringly switches to I, which is supposed to change to the point of view of a flower. The flower, we know, it's called Baby because it is Neve's baby, which is stupid. And obviously, Baby is obsessed with Neve and wants her in any way possible. He just wants to eat her. I don't know. It's really stupid. The jarring point of views in it as it changes quickly between Neve and the plant, out of nowhere, mid-paragraph, without anything giving you any warning, is stupid. I rated this book 2 stars, and that was me being nice, right? The reason why I gave it 2 stars was the imagery. When imagery did happen, it was good. It's very rare in the book, but it's good. I like the name, Neve. It was the only nice name in there because it was unique and I thought it was nice. That is really the only reason why it's 2 star. The story isn't there, the plot isn't there, the characters are very hating. They're very easy to hate. They're very easy to hate. I just feel sorry for Neve more than anything, but I hate everything and everyone. I hate the whole book. Whenever something was kind of given to us, for example, something to do with the story and plot, it didn't land because everything was given in a very detached way. And yes, this could be because Shell or because the author is neurodivergent. I don't know, but it didn't hit, it didn't land. Everything was very detached. I wasn't drawn into it, which is why, you know, it's really low stars. It was a waste of a read. I was so excited for it because everyone that, when it was coming out, was like, Little Shop of Horrors! And they were really excited about it, and I fell into that because I was like, I love Little Shop of Horrors. I love the sound of this book. It sounds good. I love my horror books. Nothing in this book was shocking. There was one scene that was very descriptive, which is where the imagery actually came in, and it was the only time that it happened, and I liked that. But I would not say the book is horror. It is not a horror book. There was nothing horror about it. The book was boring. Okay, there was nothing horror about it. Sure, it says that it's got LGBTQ plus in it and stuff like that, which I'm always down for as part of that community. But when it's based just about Shell looking at Neve instantly being like, yeah, I want that, and then nothing happening, and then she goes for a man instead, while Neve kind of reminisces about her ex, but also is so into her plant. I don't get it. This book made me angry. I hated it. I pushed myself to read it because I was hoping that maybe something would happen at the end and it would land and hit. But it wasn't worth the amount of pages that I read. It was not fun. There was nothing shocking about it. No horror, no humour that people say there is in there. There's nothing. It's nothing. I read a book that meant nothing to me. And it made me feel empty. if you've read this book, I need to know why you enjoyed it or why did you hate it. Because I need to understand what people found so captivating about it. I've read a lot of shit. I've read extreme horror. I've read normal horror. I've read different genres of the horror. I've read other genres of anything and everything. I'm going into anything and everything here because I like to try different things. And this book, what its tags are, it's not it. It's not it. Nothing happens. It's boring. There's no time to anything. It tries to bring time to everything, but it doesn't. I was hoping to push it onto Ven, but I don't think he's going to read it, to be honest. But I'm going to end it there. That's my little rant. I need to know what people think of this book, what other people think. Bye. Don't know how to end it after a rant.